Hurry up, you, said Gordon. Gordon, the proud engine, began making his plan to teach Thomas a lesson for teasing him. Almost before the coaches had stopped moving, Gordon reversed quickly and was coupled to the train. Get in quickly, please, he whistled. This time, Gordon started so quickly they forgot to uncouple Thomas. Mind the cows! Hurry, hurry, puffed Gordon. Shoo! He moved slowly onto the bridge, but the cow wouldn't shoo. Hurry, hurry, he said. Trickety-trock, trickety-trock. In a minute, Gordon would see the tunnel where Henry stood bricked up and lonely. I'm going to poop-poop at Henry, said Gordon. He was almost there when, whoosh! And there was proud Gordon going slower and slower in a cloud of steam. I feel so weak. You burst your safety valve, said the driver. You can't pull the train anymore. Oh, dear, said Gordon. We were going so nicely, too. And look, there's Henry laughing at me. Everyone came to see Gordon. Oh, said Gordon. That's no use. Edward can't push the train. I told you so, said Gordon. What cheek, spluttered Gordon. That Henry is too big for his wheels. Fancy speaking to me like that. Me, who has never had an accident. No, indeed. High spirits. Might happen to any engine. But to come off the rails like Henry did, well, I ask you, is that right? Is it decent? Then it was Henry's turn to take the express. Gordon watched him getting ready. Be careful, Henry. You're not pulling the flying kipper now. Mind you keep on the rails today. Henry went off in a huff, and Gordon yawned and went to sleep. Wake up, Gordon, said his driver. A special train's coming and we're to pull it. Is it coaches or freight cars? Cars, said his driver. Cars, said Gordon. Gordon's fire was slow to start, so Edward had to push Gordon to the turntable to get him facing the right way. I won't go! I won't go! Grumbled Gordon. Don't be silly! Don't be silly! Puffed Edward. At last, Gordon was on the turntable. The movement had shaken his fire. It was now burning nicely and making steam. Gordon was cross and didn't care what he did. He waited till the table was halfway round. I'll show them, he hissed. He moved the table, but he couldn't stop himself and slithered into a ditch. Whoosh, he hissed. Get me out! Get me out! See? Laughed Gordon. What a joke! Boop, boop. Little Thomas, we'll have you out in a couple of puffs. Strong cables were fastened. It was a lot harder than they all thought. At last, Thomas was free. That's all right, Thomas. You made me laugh, replied Gordon. I'm in disgrace. Why, so you are, Thomas. Shall we form an alliance? You help me and I'll help you. Right you are, agreed Thomas. Good, that's settled, rumbled Gordon. And buffer to buffer, the Allies puffed home. Afraid? Rubbish, said Gordon. We didn't want the poor thing to hurt herself by running up against us. We stopped so as not to excite her. You see what I mean, my dear Edward? Gordon felt somehow that Edward saw only too well. Disgraceful, said Gordon. Disgusting, put in James. Despicable, finished Henry. We cannot allow it. They consulted together. Yes, they said. He did it to us, we'll do it to him, and see how he likes it. Who cares? A lot of fuss about nothing, if you ask me. And he steamed away. He left early next morning. Gordon was still complaining. Good riddance, he grumbled, chattering all night.
Who is he, anyway? As famous as me? Nonsense. Huh, so he says, huffed Gordon. But I didn't like his looks. He's got no dome. Never trust domeless engines. They're not respectable. I never boast, but I'd say 100 miles an hour would be easy for me. Goodbye.
Look, he's coming now. Gordon was running very fast. His wheels pounded the rails.
He did it, I'll do it. He did it,
Remember, Thomas, called Gordon grandly. United we stand, together we fall. You help me, and I'll help you. I'll remember, replied Thomas, but I hope Sir Topham Hatt forgives us soon. Suddenly, they noticed something. As the two engines whistled into the Queen's train glided into the station. Gordon was spotless, and his brass shone brightly. Disgrace, sighed Gordon. Gordon and Thomas were waiting for him. Please, sir. One at a time, replied Sir Topham Hatt. Yes, Gordon? May Thomas have his branch line again? I think you are both sorry and deserve a treat. Gordon will pull the train.
Of course, said Gordon. The question is...
What is desperation? Asked Henry.
I propose, said Gordon, that Percy be our disputation. That's settled, then, said Gordon.
Poor Percy wished it wasn't.
It's not fair, grumbled Gordon. Letting branch line diesels pull main line trains. Gordon spluttered. I won't pull Boco's dirty cars. I won't run on branch lines. Sir Topham Hatt would never approve, huffed Gordon. Branch lines are vulgar. Gordon puffed away. Usually everything runs like clockwork, but tonight there was trouble. The fireman looked back towards the conductor's van. Right away, mate. He thought the conductor had waved his flag. Gordon started, leaving luggage, his passengers, and the conductor all standing on the platform. To make matters worse, by the time Gordon had been stopped and brought back, Edward was already late. So now he set off first. Cross on one of the sidings near the harbor. Next morning, Bill and Ben peeped into the yard. There were no cars for them, but they didn't mind that. It looks like Gordon, but it can't be. Gordon never comes on the branch lines. Gordon pretended he hadn't heard them. Gordon was alarmed. I am Gordon. Stop! Stop! Boco, my dear engine, save me!
A red engine with ideas above your station. Any what?
But Gordon was still grumpy.
One day I'll show you just what a big engine can really do. Not speak to silly little green engines for a start,
Replied Gordon. Then he puffed away. Later that day, Sir Topham Hatt came to see him as to test our new station.
Why can't Henry do it? He likes idling in stations.
So Gordon did. But he was still unhappy, and he grew sick too.
I just can't get up to speed,
He moaned. It's time for your visit to the works. Your pipes are clogged, said the fireman. At last, they approached the new station. In front of him was a blank wall and huge buffers.
What a boring view. Important engines like me should have a panoramic view, where I can see people and people can see me.
And he wheezed angrily. Now you can really enjoy your run as long as your pipes will let you, said his driver.
Come on, I can go faster than this,
Huffed Gordon.
Sick me never.
But Gordon began to feel more and more feeble. And soon he came to a complete stop.
What happened?
His driver and fireman inspect. Now you really will have to go to the works. Gordon was still fuming when James arrived to collect his coaches. You got too puffed up in your boiler, so it serves you right. When Gordon returned from the works a few days later, he was still boasting.
I am the finest engine on the island of Sodor. Probably the finest in the world.
Then there was trouble. As Gordon approached the new station, neither the driver nor fireman could apply his brakes. Something had jammed. The driver reduced steam, but Gordon was still going too fast.
Help me, please.
Well, Gordon, said Sir Topham Hatt.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Who do we appreciate? Practicing your numbers, Gordon. That's a good engine.
I'm counting how many seconds late you are. What does that sign say?
And right on time. Signed, head of the railway, Sir Topham Hatt.
But you weren't on time, little Thomas.
You're being bossy, Gordon. Now, please excuse me.
I think we can take care of ourselves. Get out of my way! I have unfinished business here. I've got Diesel 10's back.
Devious deeds and brutal strength.
Maybe we do need Mr. Conductor here after all.
These are no one's friends, huffed Gordon. Now this is how you pull freight cars, he puffed. Gordon rattled through the junction. That's strange. I'm on the branch line. It was too late. Gordon had already raced into the distance. But Gordon ignored the signs. I'm an express engine. I don't go slow, he said. And he went even faster. The branch line couldn't take his weight, and the rails buckled. Oh, help! And into a field.
Decorations aren't dignified for an important engine like me. I pull the express. Gordon was feeling insulted. Silly little engines, he grunted. I heard a whistle. He was going as fast as he could, but it wasn't fast enough. The apples were all smashed. We didn't think you wanted to be decorated, teased Thomas. I didn't, puffed Gordon. Well, he's definitely the best-dressed engine, said James. All the engines agreed. Gordon was secretly pleased, but he didn't think it was dignified to say so. Silly Gordon. When Gordon arrived, the station master was waiting. You need to rescue Spencer. He's stuck on the hill. Hurry, Gordon, said his driver. Gordon was looking forward to seeing Spencer. Run out of water? He teased. Yes, snapped Spencer. I must have a leaky tank. Perhaps, smiled Gordon. But we'd better hurry. Everyone is waiting. See, said Gordon. We're right on time. Spencer was embarrassed. What do you think of Spencer now? Whispered Thomas. Too much puff and not enough steam. Well done, said the Fat Controller. You're the fastest engine on Sodor. I know that, muttered Gordon.